Oh, there's the first we see of the American team. Danny Chandler, number 3. Jim Gibson's bike there, all with the mechanics, of course. That's Johnny O'Mara's bike on the scales.
Looks to be a bit of a problem there, Keith.
Well, they think it's okay, but no, that's a failed.
Possibilities of...
Too light.
Underweight, correct.
Too light, Barry. I think they've got to weld a little bit of lead on somewhere. Of course, the petrol tanks have got to have the minimum amount of petrol in. And I think I saw, yeah, it's a cigar in the mouth of the scrutineer there, so I hope there's no hot ashes about.
That's novel.
Well, look, here we have the Americans back on the scales again.
Let's see what the answer is this time.
It's in the balance, Barry.
Funds are flying this afternoon.
And a shake of the head.
It must mean, yeah, well, that's different.
Well, it is different, yeah. A shake of the head means yes.
Well, he's obviously an Irish scrutineer. Anyway, all's well that ends well. There's David
Bailey's bike. Very immaculate bike, I should say.
Very smart, very smart.
Beautifully turned out, all these bikes.
Was Americans on the Honda this year? Very successful year. Look at that, immaculately turned out Husqvarna there. Very, very.
Of course, the 83 model, although we're now in 82, it is the 83 model. And there, that Mishta was on about earlier.
Now you see them, now you don't. Certainly taking their time through that mist, I would imagine.
All going fairly steady at the moment. But I don't suppose they'll be going that steady when the mist rises.
Harry Everts there, a nice rearward shot of Harry and a very, very quick Suzuki. As the official gets splattered in mud.
Neil Hudson out for his first time.
Condor man. Thumbs up, so Neil's away. There's Dave. Now Dave should stop and see if it's all clear. No, Dave's not bothered. Dave's away.
Straight out, no messing.
I think he was looking left for safety anyway, but...
There's Jim Gibson, the first of the Americans out for practice.
Sitting very low on the Honda.
Dave Thorpe.
Popular Berkshire lad, of course.
Another one of the Americans there, watching Jeremy Watley a practice start. There he goes. Johnny O'Mara followed by David Bailey.
Already we see the mist beginning to clear now on the horizon, so less difficulties for the riders.
As we see Andre Vromans take to the hills
on the big red peril. Look at me on the yellow peril.
Bailey doing some real tricks, followed by Gibson. And Danny Magoo Chandler. So let's have a quick word with Danny.
Let's talk to Danny Chandler. Good morning, Danny. After practice this morning, what do you think about the situation today?
Oh, I think it's going to be good, I hope.
Well, you won both races last week at the Trophy de Nation. How do you rate your particular chances this afternoon?
Well, I think I have a good chance today. I think it's just going to matter on getting a good start. You know, if you don't get a good start, I think it's going to be a little bit harder to work back up, you know, from the back, because the track is so rocky that you just got to really, watch out how you pass and just be careful.
I see. And do you think the opposition is going to be stronger today than last week? Because you certainly had some pressure put on you last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a lot of pressure, always a lot of pressure from everywhere,
How do you rate America's chances today
I think we have a very good chance.
of
Very good.
retaining the trophy?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. Who do you fear most?
Oh, I fear everybody.
Yeah.
I think no matter who gets a start, it's going to be, hard to get around, no matter who he is or what he rides. I think the key today is just going to be getting a good start.
Well, let's see what happens later on. We've talked about today. Let's talk about you as an individual now, and what are your plans for next season? Are you coming back to Europe next year?
Yeah, I'd like to very much. I like the tracks suit me a lot better than the tracks in the States. I'd like to come over and ride the 500 Grand Prix next year, if it's all possible with Honda.
And you'll definitely be staying with Honda next year?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Hopefully then, at the end of the Grand Prix season, you would stay for the motocross and Trophy Ganassi again?
Yeah, I'll try.
Well, it's certainly a lively future by the looks of it for you. I'm not going to waste any more of your time, and thank you again for your time, Danny Chandler.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, we've got rid of the noisy helicopter, and now we've got a different noise now, but a very, very fine noise of the drums being played by, it looks like, a load of carrots.
There we see the three British riders, Neil Hudson, Jeremy Watley and Dave Thorpe. David Bailey there, the American, the tallest of the Americans. Danny Magoo with Van der Ven and Gerrit Walsing. Dutch riders, Gerard Rond there. And the Irish lads. There's Andre Vromans coming back from the presentation.
They seem to be enjoying themselves this afternoon, Keith, anyway.
Yeah.
There they go.
One I've seen in Europe this year, but here's the actual start, and away they go. Let's see who's the first to gate. And oh, look at Magoo. Magoo streaks into the lead.
I see Dave Thorpe was well up there.
But look at that. O'Mara right at the back. Magoo though, look at the way he goes into that berm, followed by Dave Thorpe.
Talk about berm busting, it's ridiculous.
There's Everts and LeQuay and Vromans, and there's Jeremy Watley. Jeremy Watley, very well placed. So we've got two British lads in the first 10 or 11, 12 places.
Which can't be bad, Keith. I did notice one thing, in the practice sessions we watched earlier on, I saw LeQuay go, and well, he really did go. He looked in really fine fettle. So this afternoon we'll just see what he can do in the actual racing.
I'll try and pick out a few riders here, but the dust and the stones and the dirt's really flying. It's very hard to pick out anybody at this. I think that's Case Van der Ven that's just gone through there on the KTM.
I think I'm right in saying that the Americans are using some sort of guards on the bars. I don't blame them at all, Keith, because as you said earlier on, the stones are really flying. You get them on the kneecap or the hand, they must dull the senses a little bit.
It's still Magoo though there in the lead from David Thorpe in second.
Dave's going well.
And that, two Belgians, Everts and Vromans and LeQuay, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
So LeQuay is proved his point. He's into fourth place. And there's Bailey, the second of the American, I think, through.
Already beginning to knock out a little berm there on the inside of that bend there, Keith. I'll tell you what, it's a really good view there for spectators.
Well, they're coming into that berm and then drop down the hill into the left-hander bend before they go into a double jump up the hill.
That's right, a very spectacular course actually, this Swiss course. Very spectacular indeed.
Back with the leader though, Magoo, still Magoo from Thorpe.
Thorpe's beginning to really chase hard.
There's Vromans, Everts, and LeQuay. There's LeQuay. There's Bailey. And Gibson. So it looks as if it's it's going to be tight between, for scoring points anyway, it's going to be between the Belgians and the Americans.
It doesn't look as though the Americans are going to have it all their own way in this
No,
particular
definitely.
session.
Look at Dolce go there, really turning it.
Making suspension work over time there. You know, am I right in saying that the Husqvarna is now one of the very few machines using the twin shocks?
It looks as if, from what we've seen today, it is the only machine here that's using twin shocks, apart from a few of the older KTMs.
Yeah, but they say the 1983, we take it being the 83 Husqvarna, it's very, very smart indeed, Keith.
The white Husqvarna, yeah, but as you say, twin shocks. There's the Kate and Joe Bay, but I think Joe Bay's a lap down. But it's still Belgians in 3rd, 4th and 5th spot. And as only 3 riders score points, the Belgians are doing very, very well indeed.
I think, as we spoke about this earlier, Keith, and I think we both agree that the Belgians, on this particular circuit, in this particular condition, will going to excel.
33, Jackie Vimon going through there.
Lovely wide, well, I say wide line, very narrow line there to take his counterpart.
Herbert Saltzman there, number 37, goes through. And Dolce again, really pulling out all the stops.
He's enjoying himself, obviously.
But back with the leader, Danny Chandler again, followed by Thorpe, Romans, Everts, and Lequay it should be. Yeah, there's Lequay.
Just going off the racing for one moment, Keith. Why is it that we've got, not why is it we've got Dave Thorpe on the Kawasaki, but why is it that we don't see many Kawasaki's in racing today?
I really don't know. It's I suppose it's Kawasaki policy. There was only Dave Thorpe in the 500 Grand Prix this year on the Kawasaki. The works Kawasaki anyway, and nobody really knows what's going to happen in the 1983 season. But Thorpe has shown very, very well indeed on the Kawasaki. He won the first race at Farley Castle this year, and of course he showed very, very well at the Trophy des Nations last week in Germany, where Thorpe and Watley were the only real 2 riders to get anywhere near Magoo.
That's right. So it's an extremely quick machine. Anyway, well, let's get back to the high rise there of some of these really spectacular.
As we said before, this double jump, they go around this left-hander, then into this double jump. Lequay and Joe Bay goes through there. Joe Bay still a lap down though. Thorpe drops down into a very, very tight left-hander.
Going extremely quickly.
Yeah.
Look at the crowd. The crowd is massive, and aren't they enjoying it this afternoon in this Swiss sunshine? As they go over the crest of the hill there.
Well, they've come to see all the action, and they're really getting the action today, aren't they? Everybody's pulling all the stops out, and you couldn't wish for better racing.
Very demanding sort of circuit. I don't know what you think about it, but it's very, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but it's very Mickey Mouse. It's very tight turns.
Very tight turns, and a lot of spectacular leaps.
Not a lot of greenery on the track at the moment. These lobbies been knocking about anyway.
A lot of stones. As you said earlier, there are a few of the riders with hand guards over the handlebars. I think noticeably O'Mara is the one that's using them.